I made several passes, and this soil is actually fairly loose. There are some roots, stumps, but it's loose enough that it's getting hard to get all the loose material up from the berm. So what I'm actually having to do is manually take a rake and rake all the loosest stuff out of the bottom up onto the berm so that it won't clog up. I mean, I've gone through the trouble of digging it down that deep. It needs to stay there, and I need the loose stuff to stay on the downhill side. So I'm going to finish that on this lower one. I'm going to do the upper one if I've got the energy. I probably won't rake it. The main thing of the upper one is not so much, since I'm not planting anything on the upper one, it's not as critical. It's just kind of a speed bump for the water on its way down, and that will at least mark where it is. And then later, if I want to plant some trees or do anything, then I just follow the same path and clean it out, and whatever I learned from this one and that one I can implement on that next time. But the next one up doesn't have to be quite as deep and doesn't have to be quite as clean and perfect as this one. Get this one done. We're expecting rain. I hope to be able to get out here during the rain and or at the very end of it, so long as it's not dangerous, it's not a tornado or something, to actually see the water. I'd like to be out here pretty much the whole time and see as it fills up, because I mean, it doesn't look level to me, but the level said it was level. But then as I'm digging it out, some places may go deeper, so I need to see where the high and low points are, mark the high points, and then when it's dry enough, come back and dig them back down, with the goal of eventually it being as close to perfectly level from end to end as possible. That's the goal. Hey, stop. Okay, well, neighbor's dog's out here. Harley, he's still a puppy. Very impulsive. But I think I've done what I'm going to do today. This is, I'm not sure how long it is. I stepped it off heel to toe, and it is 70 of these shoes that I'm wearing. I may actually put a tape measure to it later and see exactly how long these shoes are. Multiply by 70, and that'll tell me how long this bottom one is. It's probably about a foot deep, about 1.5 feet wide. I can calculate the volume of that and see how many gallons of water this supposedly might hold. It's not perfect. I'd like to do more, but I don't have the energy. I turned 60 this year, and I am so out of shape. It is not even funny. So I'm having to be very careful how much I do at a time until I can work my stamina up. I'd like to use that tractor to do a neighbor's garden bed, but I don't think I've got the energy right now. This is the upper one. You'll notice it's not as clean. Again, I'm not planning on planting anything on it right now, so it's just a speed bump for the water on the way down, and marks this, and I'll watch it and I'll see what happens. And if there's a high point, I'll mark that and bring it down, and then maybe later when I've got more trees to plant, then I'll redo this and clean it up and make any adjustments that need to be made. But for right now, it is Harley, but for right now it is a speed bump to the bottom one. And again, any water that it captures and soaks in eventually comes down to the bottom and helps this one as well. So that's the philosophy anyway. We shall see. I'm going to pick up my stuff and start putting stuff away, and then a little bit I may do a couple more little things, but I think I've done all the heavy lifting work I can do today, and we'll see what happens.